I love comedy. I love humor. I love jokes. I love stand-up comedy. I've always loved stand-up comedy ever since I was a child and discovered what stand-up comedy was. Comedians are some of the coolest people on the planet when you actually think about it. I mean, their job is to essentially make people laugh for a living. Like, that's really cool, right? But now you have this really weird area or place that comedy is starting to exist in where people are so concerned with being canceled more than they are with telling actual funny jokes. And then because of the fact that or the fact that people are so concerned with being canceled, then you just have people that will literally get up on stage and make fun of tragedies. And it's like, what happened to stand up comedy? And it's not even necessarily that people, in my opinion at least, that people are soft. Like, okay, when you laugh at something, right? When you laugh at something, you can't help that. Laughing, in many cases, is an involuntary response or a reaction to a stimuli that you find humorous. The stimuli in this case being the joke that the comedian said or that was said in a cartoon or whatever, right? So if people aren't laughing, your joke wasn't funny. And I think there are comedians that can't cope with that fact that their joke isn't funny. And maybe some comedians are just so, tangled up in their own hubris that they can't fathom that a joke of theirs isn't landing, I guess, is what it is. But, and then they try to make it like the fault of the viewer and like the consumer of the comedy. Like it's our fault that their joke wasn't funny or that we're not laughing at their joke. It's like, no, you're supposed to trigger this involuntary response in me, which is a laugh, and you just didn't do it. Why is that a hard concept to grasp? Just get better jokes. And then they want to say, well, you're just soft. You can't take a joke. You don't actually know comedy. You wouldn't know comedy if it smacked you in the face or whatever stupid thing that they say. And it's like, no, we know comedy. We know humor. You're just not it. What you said just wasn't funny. And it's not even necessarily like people start to say, like, oh, well, you're just soft, right? But it's not even necessarily that people are soft or that, people are offended. You can tell offensive jokes and people will still laugh. If it's funny, people are going to laugh at it. And that's the thing, though. If you say something offensive, at least make it funny. Don't just say something offensive and then it not be funny. Like, and then you have some comedians and some like little boys now that think that because something is offensive, they have to laugh at it, or like, I guess jokes now are taking a turn to where you know they have to be making fun of someone in order for them to be funny or entertaining. And I don't think that's the case. I don't think that that's what jokes have to be or do. You can tell a joke without punching down on someone, without making fun of someone. Hell, you can tell a joke without even making fun of yourself, even self-deprecating. You don't even have to do that stuff. You can just tell funny jokes that aren't at the expense of people, and you can tell jokes that are at the expense of people that are funny. Bottom line, comedy, there's nothing wrong with comedy. Your jokes just suck and aren't funny. Start telling funny jokes again. Also, criticism is like really important. Like, whenever you do any sort of art, you need to understand the ability. You need to learn the ability, like, to take criticism. And if you can't learn that, then maybe stop doing the art. Like, when someone tells you, hey, that joke wasn't funny, maybe take that and tell another joke. Give it another go, Maybe the next one will land. You know what I mean? Like, try again, maybe. It's really weird to me how, you won't laugh at someone's joke, especially if they're like a big comedian, and they'll like take it personally. Like, you're supposed to laugh at that. I'm funny. Well, if you're funny, I would have laughed at your joke. But I didn't laugh at your joke. So maybe make a better joke? I don't know what else to tell you at that point. Understanding and being able to take criticism is important for refining one's craft and honing one's ability. And if you really can't do that, then stop. Maybe I really don't know what else to like tell you. You know, like it's like imagine someone's telling you a joke, but it's like not funny. Like a kid, right? Like when kids try to tell you jokes and shit, but it's like not funny because they're children and like a key part of comedy is like understanding real life and kids don't understand real life yet. And so you're just kind of sitting there like wondering when the punchline is coming and it's like kind of awkward. You know what I mean? And then you laugh because you want to make them feel good. That's kind of how I feel with a lot of stand-up comics now too. I kind of feel like they're trying to tell us like you should be laughing at my joke. And it's like, fam, your joke just wasn't funny. But it's okay. Take this, learn from it, and tell a better joke. Can we do that, please? You just watched my video, which means you are now legally required to follow me on all of my social handles. That's right, my Twitter, my Twitch, those two especially, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all Naughty Like Monty. You have to follow me there because if you don't, I'm gonna Godzilla your frickin' Tokyo.